Record on this computer. Okay, I've got it now. Okay, and it is recording. All right, you guys, it's 7:15. Shall I let people in?
Let them in.
We're ready to go?
Yeah.
I'll give people about 2 or 3 minutes and then we can just get started.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. We're going to give people just a few minutes to come in and then we'll get started. If you could mute your cameras and your microphones while we're waiting, that would be great. When so many people are on one call, it makes the sound work much better.
Hey, Jeanette, I'm going to hop off and hop back on because I don't see the whole Zoom screen on my screen. So I figured do it now.
We're just waiting a few more minutes for people who want to join. Okay, and once again, we'll ask if you could mute your camera and mute your mic. That would be very helpful. We'll take questions at the end, and all of this will be posted too on our classrooms tomorrow. Just another few seconds, then we'll let John get started. Okay, Mr. Bunker, are you ready?
I am. If there's someone there that is listening to some music and have a little reverberation, if you could mute yourself, that would be helpful. Makes it difficult for everybody to hear. I should be able to do that for you. Maybe not. Okay. I apologize. I feel like I'm working with the kids right now. So, all right. So just as Jeanette said, that this will all be posted again. So if you need to step out and miss out on something, then it'll be available there too. First of all, I'm John Bunker. This is year 20 for me in Bexley Schools as a teacher, year 9 at Maryland Avenue. I was in room 224. I moved this year back in 1989. 1980, about exactly 40 years ago. Okay. You could do your best to
Yes, I'll jump in. People, if you're on the call, could you please mute your microphones because we're getting feedback. It is distracting. Thank you.
Anyway, okay, so I apologize. But yeah, that's pretty much me. My 2 daughters graduated from Bexley, as did my wife, and we live in Bexley currently. So far, it's been an interesting year, off to a pretty good start, actually, and things are starting to smooth out in some areas, but still a good deal of troubles here and there. But we're working through a lot of the issues that we've had, and so far, so good. And I just wanted to also welcome Mrs. Cooter and Ms. Strawn to the team here at Maryland, and we'll let them go from there.
Oh, we're jumping ahead here. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what's happening. We're going the wrong way. Sorry, everyone.
And presentation mode does
yes.
make it a little more difficult.
I'm not usually using presentation. We put it on this side so you could see it a little bit better. Okay, we're back.
Margaret had twins just a few weeks ago, and she and I had worked together for 3 years, and this is now babies 2 and 3 for her. But she wanted to introduce herself to you, and she will be back shortly this year.
Okay, and I also, give me just a minute. I need to be sure I'm sharing my computer sound. Okay, and we'll play this video for Mrs. Seepley.
Hi, welcome to fifth grade curriculum night. My name is Mrs. Seepley, and I'm really excited to be one of your teachers this year. I'm so sorry that I'm not able to be there for this moment, but I know that you're in great hands with our fifth grade team. I just wanted to send a quick video to say hello, introduce myself, and to let you know that our baby boys were born. They were born on August 26th, so we welcomed Wesley and Andrew into our family. We also have a 2.5-year-old daughter named Jolene, and that is our family with me and my husband Mike as well. So we are all doing well, healthy, safe at home, and I plan on returning to Maryland in mid-November. So as the time gets closer, I will send out communication and connect and make the transition, as smooth as we can have it. I'm excited. This is my 6th year at Maryland. I started out in 4th grade and then transitioned to 5th grade for the remaining time. And prior to that, I actually taught in Colorado. I lived in Denver and taught in Parker, Colorado, 3rd grade. I lived out there with my husband, Mike, for 5 years before returning home. I grew up in Bexley, and I actually graduated from Bexley and went to Maryland all K through 6 when it was still 6th grade. So it has a very special place in my heart. I love being part of the last year with all the transitions and really just helping prepare your children to get ready for that middle school transition next year. I know this has been a different start to the year, and many things are different than they normally are. But I want to reassure you that we will all do our best to make this the most special, memorable year possible. A little bit about my education. I graduated from The Ohio State University with a bachelor's in psychology. I then went to actually get my master's degree at University of Dayton, so I have a K-12 master's as well as a counseling license. This is really important to me because it weaves into everything I do in the classroom. Social emotional well-being and health are, top priority for me, weaving into everything we do academically. When my husband and I moved out to Colorado, I decided to get my teaching degree, K through 6. And since then, I have enjoyed being in the classroom. I love teaching, and I'm really excited to be here with your children this year and feel very honored to be their teacher. If you have any questions for me, reach out once I come back in November. I'd be happy to connect, have you get to know more. But for now, I just wanted to say hello, let you know a little bit more about me, and get to see my face and know that I am thinking of you. And I'm sorry again that I can't be there for the beginning of the year, but I'm really looking forward to when I return. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful night. Bye. Hi, welcome to fifth grade.
I'm sorry. Trying to get out of there. All right, let's move on. Ms. Strawn?
Okay, so my name is Anna Strawn. I am currently subbing for Margaret. I like to think I'm a perfect fit for her because I too like to squeeze in as much social emotional development as I can. If your kids are in my class, they might have talked about positive affirmations or having a growth mindset. These are all things that I think are super important, especially in 2020 when we're going through this crazy pandemic. A little bit about me. This is my first year teaching. I have excellent timing. I'm definitely learning a lot, and I'm getting a lot of good experience. About me, let's see. I have 2 nieces, Harper and Peyton, and they are like my entire world. I'm completely obsessed with them. I love to travel, and I have a dog named Leo who, for a single gal like me, your dog kind of becomes your child. So he's there. He's very important to me. But I'm super excited. I love the kids that I've gotten to work with so far, and I'm so excited for all the things that we have planned. So I'm excited to get to know everyone.
Okay, and I'll pick up the ball here. My name is Miss Cooter. I've been working in Bexley for quite a while, but this is my first year at Maryland. I've been over at Cassingham for some 10 years. And some of you may know my name because if you've been around Bexley for a while, my mother actually taught over at Montrose for many years. So I was very pleased to also get a job in Bexley, and I'm really thrilled to be joining the team at Maryland. It's been a lovely transition for me. I'm very happy to be there. These little pictures of my family, my husband down there in the right-hand corner, his name is Mark. He's from Britain, so we're kind of a multicultural family. My son there in the middle is quite happy about, he's very proud of his kind of American and his British heritage. Right now he's at the University of Cincinnati. The flags on there represent some of the many places I've lived and worked in around the world before I landed up in Bexley. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm very excited. I know it's been a very, very difficult transition for your children. I know everything is quite unusual and it's awkward and we're all trying to find our way through it. But the challenge of taking on digital learning is something that's really exciting to me. There are some things that we're missing about seeing the children in person, but there have been some wonderful new things that we're discovering about ways that we can spend more time with our children in a one-to-one kind of situation. So we'll now move on to talking about our curriculum, and I'll take on this. So the whole purpose of this evening is to kind of give you a brief overview. We can't tell you everything, but we just want to give you an idea of what kind of curriculum we're moving through in the year, our core subject areas, and starting off with our literacy in reading. We really build our lessons around the idea of building students' confidence. They've moved away from the idea in the early years where they're learning to read, and now we take their literacy skills and we're developing their confidence in using those skills in reading to learn. So we have different kinds of ways of organizing the children to do that. We'll do whole group lessons. We do small group work with smaller groups of children to follow up on some of that work that we introduce in the whole group. And then we also then will work individually with students. We also have quite a few resources that we're using, and hopefully the children will get much more used to that. The libraries are your friends, please, when it comes to reading. The library catalog at Maryland is very, it's just a fantastic resource, as is the Bexley Public Library. And then we've put some other information on this slide that you can get to later that will also tell you other digital resources that we have for reading. Anna?
Okay, so as far as our word study is concerned, we're using a curriculum called MegaWords. It's really focusing on getting the kids to notice patterns and rules. So noticing those patterns and remembering what goes along with them. So it, sorry, my cat's gonna decide to join the show here. It is including trick words, sound-alike words, different grammar, and we kind of do it by some hands-on activity with word games. Our resources that we use are MegaWords, and we also put some Lexia in there as well.
Okay, so again, thinking about our literacy, another aspect of our literacy that's very important to us is the writing, developing writing skills in the students. Again, we're really focusing this year on getting them ready for middle school, getting them to be independent, confident. So we'll be working with lots of different types of writing and across different topics. There'll be fictional writing, informational writing, opinion writing. Those are the main 3 types that we use, but we have lots of other types that we work with as well. We also focus on the writing cycle process. And this tends to go in a cycle. So some years ago, Bexley worked together to try and pull together ideas on making inquiry at the basis of everything we do across the district. So we kind of put the writing cycle into that sort of format. So in the past, we would have had something called pre-writing. Well, now we ask the children to do imagining, asking questions, brainstorming about different things they would write about, then planning out their writing, and then actually creating it. We're drafting out their writing, then working to improve it, and then using technology as much as possible, as well as handwritten writing and posters and a variety of different media to share their work with their classmates and with other people who might be interested in it. We're also with science and social studies. This year is a real challenge for us for science and social studies. The amount of time that we have is we're really prioritizing our literacy and our math, but it does not mean that we are losing a focus on science and social studies. We love it. And if we're thinking about using our reading for learning about things, then this is exactly what we're using our reading for in many, many instances, reading about our science and social studies. So we're taking a project-based approach this year and doing as much as we can to integrate our science and social studies into our ELA reading and writing. So here's a short example for you as we make up a project. So our first project that we're doing for reading and writing is called Getting to Know Us. And the us is deliberately capitalized because it also has the meaning of the United States, because we're blending in some of our social studies standards in there. So our final project will be a class book. It will have writing projects in it. It will have opinion pieces more related to government standards. And it will also have family interviews that start looking at different cultural influences that have come from your families and have been brought to America over the past generations. We are using a science digital program, and then we also have a program called Discovery Education, and we also have another resource called BrainPop that we use, in addition to just many, many, many books that we'll bring into this program.
Good. Mathematics, as you can see there, we use Bridges Mathematics. Bridges is, well, last year at curriculum night, I gave a bit of a dissertation on new math, as a lot of people, my generation and older, look at it as it's a little different in terms of not being tied to a standard algorithm or a standard way of doing things, and more of a way of inquiry and sort of giving kids options with how to do things and thinking about the mathematics in a different way. You have two different books that you need to be on the lookout for. One is a Number Corner book, and the student book. Those two books, everybody should have those at this point in time. Within that program, it's proving to be somewhat laborious to get through it, to use it via Zoom, but we're making some good adaptations to the program to make sure we get the most out of it. You know, we have the workplaces, which are games and so forth that they'll play. Problems and investigation problem strings. Problem strings are basically working through problems to see the process of solving multi-step problems and things of that nature. And so the Number Corner is an addition to the typical lesson, which is about a 50 to 60-minute lesson. And then we have a Number Corner is about a 20-minute. It looks like a calendar, but it really doesn't have anything to do with the dates and that sort of thing of the day, but rather noticing patterns and building skills on a daily basis that supplement and sort of complement what we are doing in our normal, I should say, typical Bridges lessons. With that information, there are online resources and additional resources that we can make available to you. If you, on our Google Classrooms, there are a number of videos and things to help parents help students. Do know that we're available to send videos home and that sort of thing to help with the math as it gets a little more difficult. And it does start out with a lot of multiplication, and so the facts and such are important now. But as we move into decimals and fractions and more abstract concepts, it does become a little more difficult. So always know that we're available to help out additionally as might be needed.
So as far as independence and responsibility in 5th grade, we are doing our best to encourage the kids to contact us and communicate with us about academic questions, as well as social issues. So the students can do that in the form of a note, an email, or they can hop on Zoom with us and have a direct conversation to try to solve those problems. our goal is to help them grow into confident middle schoolers. So that journey for them through 5th grade to just becoming more and more independent and responsible for themselves and their work is what we're working for this year.
Mallard Manners, the PBIS Positive Behavior Support Intervention Support System. We've been working. We have a great team here at Maryland. We use the 3 words: respectful, responsible, and safe, to kind of make sure that the behavior and the language that we use throughout the building is the same all the way through kindergarten to 5th grade. And it's been very successful and been an awesome program that we have. Additionally, with that, in 5th grade, when we come back to the building, we have things like kindergarten helpers and playground helpers, tray washers, and a number of other opportunities for kids to put in some service time here at Maryland, and also to have some opportunity for leadership as well.
Okay, one of the things that we want to let you know about is the parent teacher student conferences will be taking place next month. We have 3 slots in October. There's October 8th or the 14th from 4 to 8, or October 23rd. But your teacher will be sending out a Sign Up Genius. So look for that from us in the next few days for signing up for those. The student participation in that is optional. We're doing this just to remind you this is a change if you've had children in the district for quite a few years. We're not sending report cards in the first quarter anymore. We will be doing these conferences in lieu of those. So it is a fairly important thing to think about and see if you can make time for that. Obviously, they will all be done by Zoom this year, which will make it a little bit challenging. But like we've said, in some ways it can be easier to have a conversation like this without the masks than perhaps to be sitting in a classroom together 6 feet apart with the masks. So bear with us as we take on that challenge as well. So what we're going to do now is we have, I'm going to stop sharing here for a minute. We have a chat system set up, and I'm afraid I should have said something about that earlier so you could put questions in the chat as you were going. But equally, we'll take a few questions right now. I'm going to stop recording. We'll take a few questions now. We can take questions up until 7:45. And we will collate your questions as best we can, and we will post a recording of this and our slideshow on our classrooms by tomorrow afternoon.